2024 with a youth program called
Form ni Faith. In this particular program, we will be bringing you Bible trivias.
We have discussions. We have talent show for those ones who love to showcase their talents, like singing.
I do what I can, while I care for my people.
Modeling,
oral narratives, spoken words.
Hey, stop walking while I'm talking. Nataka kuji-express, at least nito stress. Even if I can smile, it's only for a while. Yesu anakudai, that's why he accepted to die on the cross, to remove your dilemma and to give you a new direction.
Catch us on every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only at Capuchin TV.
You can also get the repeat shows every Wednesday from 7 p.m. again only on Capuchin TV. And remember,
if you would love us to come and cover your event, you can contact us on 0717-424-866. Form New Faith with your favorite host, Maureen Kimani.
And I, Maggie Maina.
Come all to enjoy in Christ. Out to share into their grievances and how they feel when it comes to political involvement, and should they be involved in the politics. And that's what we are going to be discussing here today, because we've also witnessed the church coming forward, starting with the KCCB chair, that is Archbishop Maurice Mohate Makumba, and His Excellency Archbishop Bart Van Megan, who is the Apostolic Nuncio to Kenya. And actually he commended and applauded the young people for coming forward to share their grievances and to stand out when it comes to the democracy and their rights. And so we're going to be discussing this. And I'd love to hear, do you have a Gen Z in your house as a parent or as a young people? Did you go out to protest at this Finance Bill 2024? Please do share with us your thoughts on 0717-424-866, or you can use the SMS number that is 21760. It's free of charge, and we're going to be getting back to you as we continue with our discussion. But first, allow me to introduce my panelists here with me today. We are very full house, and thank you guys for making time. Asanteni sana, and welcome to Form New Faith right here on Capuchin TV. So we begin with your painkiller. Please say hello to the viewer, because I know it's your first time being here. Please say hello to the viewer and tell them who you are and which diocese you come from and what you do.
Hi everyone, I'm Moffat Ombasa. That is my ID name, commonly known as painkiller because of some few things. I come from Ngong Parish, Ngong Diocese. I'm a Gen Z. I do event planning, and I have a charity group called Team Painkiller Charity Organization. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Painkiller, and I hope by the end of this conversation we're going to have some painkiller from you.
Yes, for everyone.
All right, thank you. Moving on, yes, Joe, please say hello.
Good afternoon. I think second time's the charm.
Yes.
I've been here again. So my name is Joe Njoroge. I am a parishioner at King of Apostles. That's Roraka Parish. I am a medical student at the University of Nairobi, and I'm glad to be here, and let's see what this episode has in store for us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And moving on, we have one special guest all the way from Mombasa. Yes, Father, say hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Father Jefferson Mbatia from the Catholic Archdiocese of Mombasa. I'm currently a media and communication student at Daystar University at the River, and so I'm glad to be here na form ni faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, from the faith. Thank you very much, Father, for making time. Yes, Philip, I know we have heard you here, but please say hello to the viewers for the sake of that person who is joining us right here on Capuchin TV from the faith. Please say hi.
Hello, viewer. My name is Philip Radoli. Probably not the first time to be here, but for records, I am an economist from Kenyatta University. I currently work at KCB, and I'm a parishioner at St. Francis of Assisi, Ruiru Parish. And I'm here in our usual conversation of faith, seeking understanding. And I'm looking forward to, of course, unpack, to debunk, and to demystify this conversation that is going on. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Lastly but not least, Susie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Susan Bulevi, a student, journalism student from Mount Kenya University. And I'm also not new here. I've been here before. And I am a parishioner from St. Francis of Assisi Ruiru Parish. Yeah, and I'm a Gen Z.
Okay, all right. Talking about Gen Z, first of all, thank you to all of you for making time. And we can't wait to hear what you're going to be sharing during this conversation or rather discussion. Let's start by maybe expressing your views on how you saw Gen Z and the millennials, going to the streets and expressing their views and discomfort there is with the government. What's your take on that? First of all, Painkiller, I know you're part of that, group. What's your take on the whole protest by the Gen Z? Do you feel it's helping the country and pushing the government?
Okay, thank you for the question. Personally, I was among the quote-unquote organizers from Ngong. It did something good because when they were proposing the finance bill, when it was voted in the government, they accepted that it will go through. But because of the online organizing that we had, it helped to a point that the president had to withdraw it. So personally to the Gen Zs from all over the country, thank you for the work that you did. We are still strong.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And further, I don't know what you have to say. Did you from Mombasa, come out forward to protest? And as a priest, what's your view in terms of church perspective of the young people involving themselves in politics?
Okay. First of all, thank you for that question, and I think it's a fundamental right for the youths to protest, and the church is really supporting whatever the Gen Zs and the millennials have done, from the sentiments of the Apostolic Nuncio, the sentiments of Archbishop Muheria, the sentiments of Archbishop Martin Kivuva, Bishop Simon Peter Kamomoe. They all really lauded the youths for coming out and trying to champion their rights and also fight oppression, because the bill was a draconian bill, and it was almost drowning people again into poverty and a hard economic life. So from the church's perspective is that the youths have a right to protest, but they should do it peacefully and upholding the moral values that the church teaches. And I think we are praying for the youth so that they can be the agents of change and transformation in our country. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Father, for that insight. What about you, Philip? What's your take on everything that is going on with the country?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Maybe for starters, I think when you talk about corruption and fighting corruption, it is a collective responsibility of everyone, because the issue of corruption is not just about just the leaders alone. It also calls for us as individuals to come out in large numbers and to fight what is happening in the country. And of course, it is really a good thing that the Gen Z, they showed up in large numbers to fight this bill that the father has mentioned, the draconian bill. And it reminds me of the year 2012 when there was a group called Kenya Yetu. In fact, when we saw yesterday the youth coming out with coffins, and putting them at the CBD, it was there in 2012. They came with 49 coffins, and put them at parliament just to show that they are burying the 49 years of impunity after independence. And I think this is really a good thing, because when we show up in large numbers, it really sends a strong message, of which Penkiller has said that it led to the bill to be withdrawn by the president. So I think for me, I really support it. And being a Gen Z, it is one of the conversations that I like engaging in.
So you feel the youth should actually continue with whatever they're doing right now?
Yes, they should. They should. But like Father has mentioned, we should do it respectfully. We should, of course, not take advantage of it to maybe rob, to kill each other, but to do it just to send a strong message against the government and the policies that they are passing. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. And Joe, I can see yourself, nodding your head to whatever Philip was talking about. Please tell us your view, what's your take on the Gen Z protest?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. I agree with the previous speakers for sure. Things don't happen out of nothing for sure. There was a plan, it was incoming, and they had planned for sure to try and pass this bill. And unfortunately, they couldn't have read the situation on the ground. People were discontent with it. And this comes against the backdrop of these politicians and people in power maybe increasing their bucks, whilst the common mwananchi might be languishing in the normal, maybe the normal rate of the salary the person was accustomed to. So that backdrop is a bit insensitive, and the unwillingness of the political class and those in power not trying to do anything to try and alleviate that, I think is what broke the camel's back, and people, rightfully so, decided to say enough is enough. And again, like Philip said, people for sure tried to exhibit restraint. Unfortunately, had some bad players trying to tarnish their name. It's unfortunate, but again, using the words of Martin Luther King, only darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can. So again, hate cannot drive out hate, only love can. You see, when you try and do something and you try and employ an evil tactic or a bad tactic, you become a worse form of your enemy. So it's very powerful seeing people using peaceful tactics, people using very tactics which unfortunately maybe the government doesn't have a response to because they are peaceful. No, how do you peacefully arrest? How do you arrest someone who's just saying, "I have a phone, not a stone"? You see such kind of sentiments. So I agree for sure that they couldn't have read the situation on the ground rather, and it doesn't take a prophet to know people weren't content with this bill. So. And they had it coming. So yeah, it's unfortunate it happened, but again, going on forward, I think we should all acknowledge that in this country, the president, who is our father, should try and again listen to what the children are saying to try and have a peaceful journey ahead.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. And to the only lady on the panelist, Susie, please don't feel left out. You can also contribute to whatever the other panelists have been talking about. What's your take?
Okay, so first off, I'd like to say that I really appreciate and I'm proud of what my fellow Gen Zs have shown. The determination that they have had for the past 2 weeks, it's unbelievable, because for the longest time, the Gen Z have been known to live a carefree life. We are not aware of what is going on around, in the country, all the political affairs. But for the past 2 weeks, we have shown that we are aware and we want to be part of the, making of the bill and all that, and we want our voices to be heard. So first of all, I'd like to say that I agree 100% with what the Gen Zs have done, protesting against the bill. And also, we didn't just do it physically on the streets, also on our social media platforms. Yeah. That just showed how much, we are aware of what we are doing, and yes, I appreciate what they did. So yeah, I agree, Gen Z's, what they did was right, but also the fact that we were doing it peacefully and not endangering other people's lives was also good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that you pointed out that this discussion started online, of even, protesting, and there was a lot of engagement from the Twitter space, that is X, Instagram, all social media handles. How do you feel the youth, and it's high time that we applaud the young people who have now used the technology positively. I think it's high time we commend them for the good job. How do you feel they can use technology to ensure that their political, advances and their thoughts are taken care of, because we understand that the president will be having a conversation with the young people on the Twitter space. I don't know if anyone will be joining for that conversation. You will? Okay, I can see. So how do you feel about that? Because it's the very first time actually the president will be having a conversation online with the young people in terms of their political, career or thoughts.
Have to go faster.
Yes, please do, because I can see you're ready for that.
Okay, personally, I'm not in TikTok, but I don't really value TikTok as a man. I do look at it. It looks more for ladies, so I'm not in TikTok, but I'm a very Twitter person. So I was following up everything through Twitter. We have some people there who are updating everything through the social media. That is through Twitter and mostly through WhatsApp, the groups that we had. I was in so many groups around the country, others from Ngong, others from other parts of the country. So personally, in Twitter now we had the space where you can join a lot of people. And there is a day, I wasn't even sure if it was the president it was the account of the president or it was a parody account. But was attending one of the space meetings hosted by one of the people. So personally, social media has done a lot because the protest that we had no leader. We were leaderless. No one was organizing. We were not looking up to anyone in terms of, you could say maybe they have been paid by someone to protest. But through social media, we had so many engagements, so many talks, so many socializing, to a point that when we decided to go to the streets, it was all over the country. So personally, social media, that it has brought a lot of impact in the streets. It has made even people who couldn't know that there was space in Twitter, they have known that there is something in Twitter which can join a lot of us where you can go and talk. The president said on Thursday or on Friday, said on 4th or on 5th, we'd like to host us on Twitter, and I'm looking forward to it. And let him come and let him be free to us. Let us ask him questions, and kindly, Mr. President, be ready to answer. The moment you'll be asking our president, we have seen him. The moment you ask him a direct question, and najaribu kuhepa, quote unquote. The moment you ask him a question, he'll just be like, do you know the price of bread? Do you know the price of unga? When you came to government, unga was at 210. You brought the unga to 100 shillings. And I don't know where the unga for 100 shillings is bought. Maybe fathers can tell us. Maybe sugar for 100 around Mombasa. Maybe you can even be paying people to deliver it to town. We can pick it from there. So social media has brought an impact to us as youth and to the young people. And we have seen the impact. Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. And further to you, talking about the church Naunga. I don't know if you have that in Mombasa, but let's talk about the young people, the involvement. Because I remember there was a Sunday they talked about occupying all the churches, and we know the young people. They just serve the mass and they just do the liturgical dances. No more involvement. But we saw them, especially at the Holy Family Basilica, coming out with the flag of Kenya and sharing their grievances and standing out with the Gen Z. How did you take that as a church and to you as a personal or priest?
Okay, personally, I think it was a moment of expression of freedom because they were given that opportunity to express their grievances, to be able to channel their views. And as a church, I believe, as I've said, our archbishops and bishops have said they are open to journey with the young people and give them a direction on how they want issues of our country to be governed, but also on how they also want to be involved in the church. And that space is open for our youth so that they are not only concentrating on the government, but also they should also look on how they're going to concentrate also on the church. And in reality is that there is some sanity that has come out of those protests and out of those hashtags Occupy the church. And so it has really returned the sanctuary to those to where it belongs, because in reality the politicians were coming to a space that does not belong to them, and sorry that some of us also had allowed them to come to a space that does not belong to them. But with the protests and the uproar of the Gen Z, I think there is a lot of sanity, there is a lot of reflection on where we need to toe the boundary for the politicians and for the church. And that way, I really applaud again the Gen Zs, because it's a moment of social transformation generally in every sphere of life in our country and beyond, because the ripple effect is beyond our boundaries as a country. It has really impacted even other countries, and we are learning. The Archbishop Muheria said that the Gen Zs have spoken things that some of us did not have the audacity to talk about.
True.
Yeah, we do not have that courage to be able to point some issues that we have been numb about and silent for a long time. And so I personally believe that the youth need to be given that opportunity to be the agents of social transformation in our country and also in the church. Yeah. And the way they use the social media, I think we also need to thank God for that tool of social media, because the level of organization within the social media was top notch. We couldn't imagine when the numbers were coming out and there was no one who was a leader. Like they are saying, they are leaderless, they are partyless, they are tribeless.
Tribeless,
Yeah, so you can see that impact and that sense of unity that cuts across the boundaries. It is really a new dawn in our country. And I wish also to appeal to the Gen Zs that the same energy we use to mobilize people to come out for the protest, that we can also use the same energy for evangelization, because we cannot only use it for protest, but social media is a tool that we have been given, and we can also use it for evangelization. Recently, I did a research on how priests can use the social media for evangelization in our diocese, and you can see people are still shy from using the social media for evangelization. So from what I saw and the viral hashtags, I just wish that we can turn around and we say occupy churches but for prayer, not for protests. Yeah, occupy churches for activities that are going to help us grow in faith, and that way we will be agents of also of faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Father. And Philip, I think maybe you can be able to explain to us when we talk about creativity that was used by the young people in terms of the posters, the hashtags and everything. It was, I think, top notch, as Father has, described every situation. How do you feel these maybe the young people can be involved in terms of their creativity minds to ensure that, because as much as we have the politics in the church or in our country, so many people don't embrace technology, they don't embrace the terms of the art. But you see, the young people, they were courageous enough and brave to share their thoughts and their ideas, of which our Father mentioned. The church didn't even have the courage to come and point out these things, but we are applauding the young people. How can it be, involved in that process?
Thank you for that question, and thank you, Father, for your penetrative insights. I think when you talk about religion and politics, there are things that the Gen Zs perhaps, or maybe to some extent the millennials, who are a bit reserved to talk about. Some of them felt like there could be no change. We'll speak, but the horses are the same. Yeah. The animal kingdom is the same. And so there is nothing. But with the technology, we've seen that they have been able to come up boldly and affirmatively to be able to fight what they say our parents were not able to fight. And I think with technology, it's just a matter of understanding that, first of all, technology is not a threat. It's not a threat. It is, in fact, a creation of human invention, or rather, it is a product of our creativity as individuals. And to take it positively, that it is here to stay with us, and it is not a threat to our creativity. There are people who say that with the introduction of AI, we're not able to express our creativity. We're not able to invent, to come up with new things. But AI is also an invention of human creativity. And so the first thing to do and the first thing to be involved is to first of all accept it, and the second thing of course is to learn how to use it. It is no strange news to hear that there are the young generations who probably don't know how to use it. So the best thing is to learn how to use this technology creatively, and the best thing is to learn how it has been used recently. The other thing is to find out how can we monetize it. Like Father is saying, how can we use it for evangelization? How can we also use it for monetization? Many young people and many companies are enrolling young people to take care of their social media handles, to take care of their social media pages. Yeah. And this is sort of an income generating activities for this young generation. And so I think with accepting it, with learning how to use it, with monetizing it, we can be able to use technology positively and creatively to drive social change, to drive evangelization, and also to drive the economy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And Joe, to you, so many people feel the setbacks that you Gen Zs and millennials did back in high school, betraying the city, are some of the reasons why we are experiencing these protests in our country and change. There is a revolution in a country. What do you have to say about that? Do you feel it has maybe helped the young people to know how they should feel and how they should express their feelings in terms of political involvement?
Wow. So it's interesting that even as in this situation, also another set book is also being written about the same thing, but really points out that there's really nothing new under the sun. It's more or less the same thing, right? And even there's this quote which says, people who forget history are bound to repeat it. Unfortunately, people forget the evils of Auschwitz and also the worst of maybe the Hiroshima and Nagasaki attacks. It's unfortunate that people will be bound to repeat it over and over again. So to me, it's just that realization that there's really nothing new been invented. It's just simple things which even our Lord talked about, no? If we can have at least politics which upholds the person, the dignity of the person, so matters healthcare, matters maybe infrastructure, so like transport, water, education, etc. If you address those real issues, we're really not going to be talking about the same thing, because you can't invent a new thing. It's really been there. Unfortunately, we live in a fallen, broken, sinful world, and these problems plague people of past, they're plaguing us now, and they might even plague people in the future. So to me, it's just that realization that it's really not rocket science. It's really a simple thing, and it invites people to be committed towards action and not more dialogue per se, in the sense that we keep on talking about the same thing over and over again, and if you don't take any action, it's just what's the difference? So just to conclude, it's really nothing new, and I think behooves us to act, to take action. And to prepare for change.
Okay, all right. And as I was just scrolling on the social media, I remember there was this meme talking about wakishamaliza kusafisha gava wanaenda sasa kwa wazazi on the tribalistic thing. I don't know, Susie, if you have anything to add about that, because Painkiller has been able to, voice about the tribalistic thing that maybe the parents, have in the country or in the society, how they believe, when it comes even to marriage. But you can see these young people, the Gen Z, they are ready to fight for that. What's your take?
Okay, so the fact that Gen Zs have said they are tribeless is actually good, because a lot of, we kind of not get a lot of economic development because of that. That mindset that this tribe and this tribe cannot do business together, or they cannot do this and this together, that is what has hindered a lot of development in the country. So the fact that these demonstrations that have been happening, or the Gen Z standing up to what is right, is tribeless, I really think that's quite a positive move on their part. And also, I feel like tribalism has been a part of our country for so long, especially in the are they called baby boomers or millennials? And the generations
boomers
that have come before us, it has really been a part of their life for so long that they have normalized it. So right now, even getting rid of that mindset can be quite difficult, because sometimes even while at home, you might tell your parents something about maybe people from another tribe, and they react. You wouldn't want them to do that, and especially, and that's why you've had people saying, when election time comes, I'd rather hide my parents' ID because I know what they're going to do over there. It's based on, tribe and all that. So the fact that Gen Zs do not really consider tribe to be quite a major thing for them, I applaud that. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe to add something?
Yeah, sure.
Personal, I'm a Kisii. We are tribeless, but at the end of the day, there is that tribe where you come from. And being a Kisii, kuna hiyo something that goes like, Wakisii tunakula watu. That thing, it is so irritating. Me, I've been brought up in Nairobi. I've never seen such a thing. But now when you are somewhere, then you say your second, people always judge you their second name. You see, like mine is Moffat Ombasa. Ombasa is a bit unique to know if I'm from Kisii or not. But there are those normal names from Kisii, like Nyabuto. So if I say Moffat Nyabuto, if you are maybe in an event, somebody has already judged me like, hawa wanakula watu. Like Kikuyus, somebody will say, wanapenda do. Mimi, I can't marry a Kikuyu. Somebody will say, I can't marry a lady a Kikuyu because I can't keep her. She likes money. We are in a generation where we could elect someone not based on tribes, based on what that person will provide for us, what that person deliver. And I'm encouraged for intermarriage. Intermarriage will make us to be relatives. If I'm from Taita and I'm from Kisii, that's a very long distance. If those parents come from Taita to Kisii, they'll socialize, they'll know we are good people, we are not atukuli watu, to a point you can't even say your second name because you fear the judgment that people will give you. You can't say your second name because, like in Kisii, we have during burials, like when we go to the morgue, we go a day before. So when you go to the morgue, the person is brought home today, the person buried tomorrow. That's something I've grown up seeing, and we can't change that, we can't change. No, but the moment we have people who will say we have taken the body earlier for us to, to cleanse it before the person is buried, to remove the chemicals from the morgue, so that when the person will be buried, those who will eat the person, quote and quote, watapata mwili iko fresh. Yes, Father, thank you. Watapata mwili iko fresh. So let's stop judging people according to their tribes. I'm a Kisii, but I don't eat people. I don't eat people. So to Maureen, like let's intermarry, and by doing that, we'll elect someone because this leader will deliver, not because of the tribe. Yes.
Wow. And that's one thing I love about Gen Z. They just speak their mind, and they don't just hold it.
You fear marriage.
Wanaogopa ujimoto.
Ujimoto na ndoa.
Okay, Father. And Job, do you feel the young people are ready to take this responsibility that comes with a political, issues? Do you feel they're ready to do that as much as they're coming to the streets?
I'll quote one of my favorite lines from this movie, Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. And the realization here at hand is that we have had this effective change that we have maybe transmitted to the people. Now the question is, what next after here? So I think it behooves us people, especially the Gen Zs, to be able at least to have some bit of formation, some bit of transformative ideals and values which will help steer this way forward. Because again, at the end of the day, we have to have stability, we have to have transformative leadership, we have to have a lot of peace in the society, so to speak. So to me, I'd call at least, and I think I've seen it during this time, at least people will have in civic education, which is so important. All these things are not in abstract. So it's important for sure to know what happens at the national level, at the county level. So that's one thing. We have seen a lot of civic education happening through the social media tools, TikTok, Instagram, and all those media tools. Number two, I think also we can agree on some values which you should work on. Again, corruption is a big enemy which you want to uproot. So at least you can uphold and even promote integrity, honesty, hard work, such things. And we can see those are the building blocks of the values which will help us build a transformative Kenya. So to me, it's this rallying call that we should, form ourselves, yes, be effective, be tools of this effective change. So again, civic education, knowing what happens. People even knew the exact clause of the finance bill pertaining to such and such an issue. That's so detailed and that's so important.
Yeah.
So that's important and very pertinent in helping us build a better Kenya for our future generation. Thank you.
Okay, and Philip, what do you have to add from whatever Joe has mentioned in terms of youths being ready to take the responsibility?
Thank you for that question. In fact, I was to ask whether I can add something.
Yes.
I can say there is, of course, the notion that that goes on around social media that young people, when they are given power, they might risk being corrupt because they lack experience. But I would say corruption is not an issue of age. It is an issue of your values, which Joe has just demystified, that we need to cultivate these values in ourselves. And that is where also the church comes in to ensure that that the youth are properly formed to take up leadership in the next government. I think for me, what really matters most is we need to train our young leaders. There are many organizations that are rallying behind training young leaders to be the next leaders of tomorrow and even of today. For instance, when I was I was still at KU doing my undergraduate, we had a leadership course that we used to do in the final semester in the university that is meant to prepare you to take up leadership in the, once you're out of the university. So we might be young, but that doesn't mean we cannot manage to lead. The other thing is that we need to be given opportunities. Truly, you cannot really learn something when you're not exposed to it. So maybe a clarion call to the existing leaders, the incumbent leaders, to at least mentor young people, to provide them with opportunities, to provide them with skills, to provide them with those channels where they can be able to learn a thing or two about leadership. Because really, you cannot you cannot plant a tree today and expect to get shade from it today. You need to build it beforehand so that when that time comes for it to provide shade, it will be ready, it will be mature. So we need to be trained, to be prepared for civic leadership. And so the notion that youth will be corrupt, I mean, that is just a myth, and we need to give these people opportunities. They have energy, they have ideas. They say you cannot teach an old dog new ways, and modern problems need modern solutions. This young generation have been brought up in the technology age. They understand the modern problems, they understand the modern issues. And of course, having them at the decision-making table will ensure that the decisions made are not of ancient times, but are decisions that are made to ensure they address the modern problems. Yeah.
Wow, impressive. Yes, Father.
Yeah, we can add something from a biblical perspective to see how even God himself prepared most of the leaders that he had called, starting from Joseph. Joseph was a very young man, and he was sold to Egypt by his brothers. And that period that he was in the prison, all that time was a moment of preparation until he came out to be a prime minister in the land of Egypt. When you look at David also, David was just a shepherd, and when he was grazing the sheep of his father, that was also a moment of preparation, because he used to fight the lions, he used to fight the foxes there, and when it came time now to fight Goliath, he was indeed prepared during that moment. And I believe that it's not an issue so much of age, but it's an issue of the potential and ability that God has put in us and how we execute that ability and gifts that God has given us. And so if you look at David, he was very young, but he was among the kings that God really loved because of the tremendous good work that he did for the nation of Israel. And then when you look at Jesus himself at 33, he really did an overwhelming work and brought a lot of change and transformation. And so biblically you can just see that most of the people, we cannot say that that God chose who was there Most of them were youths, and they really did a really commendable job. For me, I think it's time for the youths to stand up. It's time for the youths to take the responsibility, to know that they can drive this country to another level, because they have the potential, they have the abilities, and above all, they have the knowledge and skills that are required to bring about change and transformation, embedded with values that we are talking about, and also to be able to be determined that yes, I can, as an individual and as a group.
All right, well, I'm so saddened because our time is almost up, but this conversation, we could have loved to continue with it. I think we should have an episode 2 of the same.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to give each one of you, you can do your parting shot, and maybe what is that advice you'd love to share to the young people as we look forward to this revolution in the country, starting with Bulemi.
Okay, thank you. What I'd like to say as we conclude is maybe echo on what everyone on the panel has said, and to just agree with the fact that yes, the youth are ready to lead. Yes, we might not know everything, like the ins and out of leadership and all that, but compared to how we were 3 or 2 weeks ago and how we are right now, at least we are not that clueless. We know a lot of things about lawmaking and all that. So yes, I'd just like to say the youth are ready to lead as long as we get a platform, we are taught, and we are well nurtured. We can do well in this. And maybe I'll conclude with a quote that Nelson Mandela once said, "Knowledge is like a stream. The slower it flows, the deeper it enters." So all this we will learn step by step, but at the end of it all, we will see a revolution, and that the youth can lead. Thank you.
There's a hope. Thank you very much, Bulemi. Yes, Philip.
Thank you very much. And maybe just to extend what she has brought to the table, I've just remembered of a quote by Aristotle that says, "Youth is easily deceived because it is quick to hope." But that hope is what builds you. And it is good to have hopes, and it is good to have ambitions, it is good to have dreams, because through that you're able to cultivate and to set up a landmark for what you really want for yourself in the future. And just to encourage the young people that let's stay strong in this fight against impunity, against anarchy in our country, because we should not remain and we should not be tied back to the olden ways, the olden days. We should stand up, and we should do that with confidence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Philip. Yes, Father.
Yeah, maybe my parting shot, I'll just read a message that was written by the bishops to the youth in a few days ago. It was read in many parishes on Sunday, and the message says this, that your aspirations are valid. Your clamor shows your concern for our country, for the lives of others, and for social justice. Our families will be first beneficiaries of better governance and economy. For this, we wish to encourage you that your aspirations are valid. Let us work together with the help of God's grace to build these dreams, each with the gifts we have, young and old. We have admired the unity beyond tribe or social class, which is a sign of true care and love. This should increase your commitment to good cause. Okay. And they say that we will accompany you.
Very nice.
So I want to say that it is a moment of reflection as a country. It's a moment for us not to go for a civil revolution, but a social and economic revolution as a country. Maybe to reach the levels of the East Asia's country that there is the miracle called the East Asia miracle. If we can have goals to reach there, then I think we're in the right direction. Otherwise, thank you for having me here, and may you be blessed, and may you know that your dreams are valid as youths. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for assuring us that. Yes, Joe?
Yeah, thank you, Father, as a Gen Z, for that, for that statement. my part in short, I'd like first of all to extend my condolences to those who lost their lives and also those people who are hurt or injured in any way, shape or form during the protests. It's unfortunate, and may God comfort them. Secondly, this line from Thomas Jefferson, he said, "You enlighten the mind, and tyranny and oppression of body, mind, and soul will flee like an evil spirit at the dawn of day." It's important that we have been enlightening ourselves during these days, and moreover, we still have to continue keeping the faith, keeping the hope and the struggle. We shouldn't be discouraged. That's a tactic of the devil. If you can say the rosary, say the rosary. If you go for mass, go for mass. Read the Bible. Again, we should invite our Lord in all of these things, all these struggles. Okay. We should let the evil tactic get into our heads of despair, hopelessness, and we hope we will emerge victorious at the end of the day.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Painkiller, less than one minute, please.
Okay, thank you for having me. This is my camera.
Yes.
Thank you. To our president, do what you said to Kenyans. Mama mboga, mwana bodaboda, wafanye vile ulisema. Let not be like you are saying because you wanted sympathy because of the votes. And when you got to the votes, you are the president now, you forgot the mama mboga and the mama bodaboda. To the youths, the tomorrow that you are being told is today. Tushikane mikono, come 2027, let's not vote anyone who's in the parliament right now. Wote waende nyumbani, we bring new people to the seats and we move Kenya forward. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Father. And to those politicians who hide in church, kindly, we don't need you. If you are a Catholic, if you are an SDA, go to your specific church and you don't need your money. You are dirty money in our churches. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Wow, strong words there, but okay. Mine is to just say thank you to all these people who were joining this conversation. Asante sana. Let me read this comment, please. We have Amon Matutu kutoka maeneo ya Nandi Mosoriot. Nazidi kuwatazama sana katika maeneo ya Eldoret, na pia tuzidi kuombea Kenya iwe na amani kote. Yeah, we're praying for peace and for better country and governance in our country. So thank you very much to all of you for making time and for being here at a Family Faith Show. Looking forward to have you on next time as we have this discussion and as we wish you the very best in your revolution. All the very best. May God grant you good health and energy and a strong mind and better information that are gonna transform our country. So thank you very much and all the very best. And to Capuchin TV, thank you all so much, Capuchin TV crew, for always making it a success so that the viewers can be able to have this conversation right in their comfort zone at home and of course in the social media handles. So until next time, my name is Maureen Kimani. See you next time, but remember to keep it Family Faith right here on Capuchin TV. Bye-bye.
Yo, what's up my guys? Nyajeni Wase, the wait is finally over.
Yeah, and Capuchin TV brings you exciting news for the youth this year 2024 with a youth program called
Form Ni Faith. In this particular program, we will be bringing you Bible trivias.
We have discussions. We have talent show for those ones who love to showcase their talents, like singing.
I do what I can while I care for my people.
Modeling,
oral narratives, spoken words.
Hey, stop walking while I'm talking. Nataka kuji-express, at least nitoe stress. Even if I can smile, it's only for a while. Yesu anakudai, that's why he accepted to die on the cross, to remove your dilemma and to give you a new direction.
Catch us on every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only at Capuchin TV.
You can also get the repeat shows every Wednesday from 7 p.m. again only on Capuchin TV. And remember,
if you would love us to come and cover your event, you can contact us on 0717 424 866. Form Ni Faith with your favorite host, Maureen Kimani.
And I, Maggie Maina.
Come all to enjoy in Christ.